I think patched up back line, you've got one. I think they've got one too. Still without a few experienced players as well in the pack. No Hill yet, no Lawrence at the moment. So, I thought Greenwood and English seemed to make impacts off the bench. The commentary emphasised that they were turning points in the game, that what those players were doing, especially in the sort of period just after half time. So I think some credit to the Giants as well, but this is as much about Warrington throwing it away again as it is about anything else.
Yep, I agree with that sentiment, Mark, and they're certainly going to have the work cut out at your place this week.
Yep. Do you want to pick up on the disciplinary charges out of this one?
Yeah. So Chris McQueen from Huddersfield, Grade A, dangerous contact, no match penalty notice. Ollie Russell from Huddersfield, Grade B, tripping, 1 match penalty notice. Matt Duffy will have scans this week on his foot injury. Thomas McKaylee also limped off in the game, will be assessed. Ricky Latelli looks set to leave Huddersfield at the end of the current season. The 32-year-old centre remains off contract for 23 and is yet to sign a new improved deal from the Giants. Head coach Ian Watson says the club are now preparing to look at other targets after not being told by the player or his agent about his future.
I think he'll be in high demand, but Catalans are the rumoured team that are in the driving seat for Ricky Latelli. I'd certainly take him at Wigan.
Yeah, it's good. He's a good player and he's had a very good season, so Huddersfield will be disappointed to see him go, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, the game of the round, I think.
Yeah.
I think one of the shocks, certainly when you talk about the context of the match as much as anything else, happened in France on Saturday. Catalans hosting Leeds. It was 16-6 to the Catalans at half-time. It actually got as far out as 30 points to 6, 10 or 15 minutes after half-time. But the final result after golden point extra time was Leeds 36, Catalans 32. 8,165 were there. Chris Kendall was the referee. The only stats that went in Leeds' favour was a 7-9 penalty count, a 7% better team tackle success rate over the host, and 2 more breaks. But that was despite 174 fewer metres, made a huge 2.1 metres per carry better average gain Catalans made ground at too. You don't normally see that flipped over in the scoreline, but this wasn't your everyday game. What about the individuals?
It was wild. It was a wild game. For Leeds, Cameron Smith, 1 try assist, 6 tackle bust, 134 metres. Harry Newman, 111 metres and 3 offloads. Mikolaj Aledzki, 100 metres. And Richie Myler with 3 absolutely vital tries.
It was classic Richie Myler from his Salford and Wyre days, wasn't it? That sort of classic support play that he used to be known for when he was younger.
It was.
He was basically support play and short kicking game, wasn't he, for the first 10 years of his career?
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did in this game. And his interventions, with obviously the help of his teammates, helped turn this game round. It was amazing. For the losing Catalans, Arthur Romano, 5 tackle bust, 147 metres. Mikel Goudemont, 124 metres. Big Sam Cassiano, 1 block-busting try, 121 metres and 3 offloads. Fuad Yaha, 2 tries and 117 metres.
Yeah. Good reactions, weren't it, for that try where the kick deflected and he just ran perfectly under it.
Yeah, he did.
Cutthroat Jake said, "How the fuck did we do that?"
Indeed. Dr. Bob Phillips. Oh, hang on. I've just messed up my screen here. Sorry, Dr. Bob Phillips, 36 behind, and the Rhinos lose a man for a red card at 56. You have to expect it's Bentley off the pitch and a 50-plus loss, not him saving the team with an interception and golden point extra time win. # grand final ahoy.
Yeah, and later Rhino said, "The latest extraordinary result for us just shows the difference Smith is making. If that first half had happened in March, we'd have lost by 50, but we now have calmness and steel when we need it. Like other Rhinos, I'm starting to believe we'll make the playoffs. And then, of course, who knows what can happen." Wow. Confidence is high.
Flipping it. That's getting a bit too confident in my box. But anyway.
But there is something new about this Rowan Smith Leeds side that we haven't seen in recent times from a Leeds side, and this was a remarkable comeback.
I mean, it was.
You're going to get carried away after this sort of nonsense.
Yeah, definitely. Particularly away at Catalan. I mean, Catalan are obviously still missing some players and haven't been in good form recently. But to go away to Perpignan, to be 30 points to 6 down, to then have a man sent off, and then turn the game round is remarkable. It is got to be one of the wins of the season.
One of the comebacks of history.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
If it does lead to them forging into the playoffs, then, it'll have a context to this result as well that will make it be able to be talked about as one of the greatest comebacks.
Yeah.
It's not just like what Bob said about the 36 behind in the red card. They were actually 10 minutes without previous to that, where he got in a bit of a scuffle and saw himself sin-binned earlier on in that second half. Like for the first, he was off for about 10 minutes. Well, he was off for 10 minutes. He was back on for about 3 minutes. Then he was off again for the rest of the half. Albeit, let's temper it a little bit. It was 12 aside at the point where they won the game because Fuad Yaha had been sin-binned. Yeah. But that's not taking anything away from anyone.
No.
It was 32-30 to Catalans at the point when Fuad Yaha was sin-binned. That sin-bin gave the penalty to level the scores and take it to golden time, and saw him sin-binned. And obviously Aidan Caesar stepping up and scoring a try in a golden point game. No drop goal contest.
I know. Maybe other sides should think about doing the same as well. Mind you, I think they were looking to see if they could find somebody to drop a goal. And then it just opened up in front of Caesar and he shot through the gap.
I mean, I'd have been expecting Cam Smith to step up because he's done everything else for Leeds this year, it feels like.
Absolutely. But,
what about that Brad Dwyer try?
What a game. Oh, yeah, that was very good.
Was it good or was it... Well, it was fun. It was fun to watch. I've written here possibly only he knew what he was doing. I'm not sure he knew what he was doing. It was clearly instinct and not plan. But if you haven't seen it, anyone, he picks it up at dummy half. He throws a dummy, then kind of thinks twice about where he's going to go. Then does a pirouette, thinks he's on Strictly Come Dancing. Then puts a kick in for himself, chases that kick, gets it. He's going in to score. Two Catalans defenders converge around him. He kind of jumps and spins around in the air and then manages to get the ball down, and it's just fun madness.
All I can say is I wish I was one of the Leeds fans that were in the ground and then were sat in La Poste in the square in Perpignan afterwards. They will have had a hell of a night after that.
Oh, I feel for the bus driver taking them back to...
wild. Yeah. It won't have been good. What a game. And as you say, there is... I mean, you've got to say, and as Leighton Rhino says himself, early in the season, Leeds would not have been capable of pulling that one round. Now, you could play that game another 50 times and Leeds wouldn't win it, but the effort that they put into that to get it over the line, quite astonishing, and is a credit to the new coaching staff and to the spirit that is instilled within the team.
Yeah, sure, certainly. You have to say that there'll be some inquests at Catalans about it for how they let it slip like this. I'm not really sure of those answers. It'd be cool to hear from Alan maybe about whether he's worried at all or whether it's just a temporary blip whilst they're kind of getting everyone back on deck for a final push. But yeah, great result for Leeds Rhinos. A result that keeps them in the chase for the playoffs, but they still sit on the outside. We'll talk about that in a minute. Matt Pryor got a grade B high tackle charge for his tackle on, I think it was on Alric Acosta, wasn't it, that earned him the red card. 2-match penalty notice for him. That's, I think, his 4th ban of the season. And young Tiaki Chan, I'm pronouncing that wrong probably, but I'm guessing Joe Chan's other son, who was on the books at Catalans, he made his debut here. Grade A dangerous contact charge for him. As it's his debut, he's got no form, so no penalty, no match ban for young Chan, but they'll be hoping that he develops as quickly as his brother has developed there. Okay, David.
So that's that round done with, Mark.
There was one game left on Sunday, and what a cracker!
It wasn't, was there?
What a cracker!
Yeah.
Salford 44, St Helens 12. It was all over at half time, as so many St Helens games are. It was 26-0 to the hosts at half time. 6,041 was the crowd. Really good crowd, good St Helens contingent there. Seemed like a lot of Salford fans are starting to believe in this team as well. Jack Smith was the referee. And in terms of the stats, Salford made 288 more metres, made 10 breaks to 3 for 8 tries to 2. They had more tackle busts, more successful offloads, fewer errors. They were all things that helped towards Salford's big win, along with St Helens being below 90% in team tackle success rate, but that's kind of where they live now. What about the individuals that lit up the AJ Bell Stadium?
So for Salford, Tim Laffey had a magnificent game. 3 try assists, 7 tackle busts, 193 metres. 3 clean begs, 3 offloads, and I'm pretty sure Connie Hurrell's still looking for him. I don't think he laid a hand on him all game.
There's a couple of the offloads he did where I had to watch the replay twice because all I saw was Joe Burgess running away with the ball. I had no concept of how the ball... It was a magician's trick.
It was. He had the game of this season, that's for sure, if not many a season. Joe Burgess himself, 2 tries, 1 try assist, 7 tackle busts, 163 metres, 3 clean breaks, rolling back the years. Brodie Croft, a try assist, 145 metres. Dion Cross, who's been playing brilliantly for Salford over the last few months. 1 try, 8 tackle busts and 125 metres. For the miserable Saints, Jack Wellesby, 1 try, 7 tackle busts, 129 metres and 3 offloads, a rare highlight. Alex Walmsley, 1 try and 116 metres. And Regan Grace, 100 metres, possibly the last 100 metres he'll make for Saints after he's in at the end of the game.
That is a shame, isn't it? It was the very last play of the game, he went down, leg injury, scans needed to confirm the outcome, but it didn't look good when he went down with no one around him and no seeming explanation for why he would have gone down, so it does seem bad. Curtis Sirenan also picked up a torn bicep, didn't he? So we'll see if he's as hard as Johnny Lomax.
All right, strap him up, get him on.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that they've brought Sam Royal back would indicate that we're going to be light in the back row for at least one more week.
What we're saying is he's not as hard as Johnny Lomax.
No, nobody is.
At MikeWeb58 said, never write off the Saints. Oh, not this week. To be fair, Salford were scintillating. He said, not sure I've ever written that word down before. Do you know what, though? I've written it in my notes. I wrote... Yeah. I wrote some scintillating scores by Salford. So we're on the same mind frame, Mike. He said, even worse are the injuries, especially Grace on the last play of the match. Monday morning disciplinary bingo to look forward to as well. Well, luckily for you, there was no bans out of this one. Grade A charge for Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, contact with a referee, so we'll see how that compares to what Brad O'Neill did, where the referee went into him. And Elijah Taylor, Grade A dangerous contact, no match penalty notice for him either. So all a clean bill of health in that regard, if not fitness-wise. You can do the next one. Good times.
Oh, yeah. Always in our bloody shadow, John Wilkin, Fatty Vegas, myopic St David. Wait till I see you next time, matey. Your team took one hell of a beating. That is, yes, not untrue.
Coming up, Roses said, How have the mighty Saints allowed themselves to lose against this bunch of peasants and simpletons? Was the excuse Roby was out of position? Are they tired? Have Sky told them to lose a few to make the league more competitive? Who knows?
That's the good answer. I like that answer.
There must be a reason, though. The players should be stripped and wiped through the streets of St Helens as a punishment. Shame, shame, shame. P.S. Well done, Salford.
Mark W. Anyone who got through this weekend with a 6 out of 6 Super Brew or successful accumulator needs to immediately be tried as a witch.
I didn't. 1 out of 6 for me, but we'll get...
I got 2, which in retrospect is looking bloody great.
Yeah. Right. So, Were you at the game?
No. So it was my sister's wedding.